Good evening and welcome to this session of the live virtual classes conducted by the Board of Studies of the Academics of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Nice to be back with you all again. This time we are going to discuss other law, not company law, other law, Foreign Exchange Management Act, 1999. The name itself is very important. The predecessor, that is, before this law was enacted, the earlier law was called the Foreign Exchange Regulation Act. Regulation versus management. The difference. To understand this, right, we need to understand something about the economic conditions which gave rise to the enactment of this law. So the topic we are going to see today is foreign exchange, how it came about, how this concept of regulation to management, etc., definitions, like definition of foreign exchange, foreign currency, person resident India or outside India, authorized persons. Then we'll go into the core of the topic, which is current account and capital account. That's it. For the intermediate syllabus, only up to capital account. Beyond that, no. That was in the final syllabus. Now it has come to your intermediate. Wherein abridged. Sirf up to capital account transaction only. We will see. Up to section 6. Very interesting enactment. The preamble or statement of objectives. The preamble is the statement of objectives, wherein the parliament or the lawmaker states the avowed or obvious objectives of the enactment. Facilitating external trade and payments for promoting the orderly development and maintenance of foreign exchange market in India. Now, this explanation I'm going to give you cannot help you to get marks in the exam. But if you can understand this, the enactment will become simpler for you. Everything will become easier. Why current account is freely permitted? Why capital account is not freely permitted? Blah, blah. Everything will be clear to you. Okay, so that is why give me 5 to 10 minutes to help you understand. We have to divide our economic history, the economic history of this Indian subcontinent or our sovereign democratic Republic of India as pre-1991, post-1991 or pre-LPG, post-LPG. LPG means not liquefied petroleum gas. Liberalization, privatization, globalization. Pre-1991 was a license Raj. A gloomy 40 years. When we went back about 20 years ahead, we should have gone ahead. We went back. So much so that countries like Vietnam, Taiwan, Korea, China for that matter, they improved. Why Thailand? And Vietnam is just a strip, little bigger than Kerala. That was developed. Korea, I've been to all these countries and I've seen the development, the roads, infrastructure, everything is improved. There are other political reasons, but the main thing was they opened up the economy, whereas Indian economy was a closed economy till 1991. How it was closed? The Indian government controlled the foreign exchange, meaning you cannot send US dollar payment out of India. You cannot receive also. Everything was controlled by the Reserve Bank of India. It was controlled, absolutely closed. Everything had to be routed through not your bank. The Reserve Bank of India, sir. For example, you wanted to import chemicals, you had to make an application to the Reserve Bank of India. Time. Everything was delayed. And obviously, for doing it faster, you paid money. Corruption. Right. So 1991, No, it was a watershed year. We had borrowed heavily. See, look at this diagram. India is exporting to USA. For example, you can substitute any country. For ease, I'm putting it here. And the story I'm telling is not current Ajka story. Today, it is different. Our balance of trade is positive with USA. Before you correct me, I'm correcting myself. I know. But in 1991, it was not so. Right? So, and today you are able to improve your balance of trade because of this FEMA and liberalization. So, thanks to one gentleman, Mr. Manmohan Singh, and another gentleman, I'm sure you know his name. He was the Prime Minister, P.V. Narasimha Rao. Together they decided, let us do it. So, at that time, what was the position? We were exporting, no doubt, but we were importing also. Our overall import was more than our export, which means if all the payments which we have to make for the import is taken on a particular date, and all the money we are entitled to get from our export is taken, the net balance, we owe money. We owe money. So at the end of the day, every month, let us say USA and India, they have an account with reconciliation. USA will have to be paid by us. Some other country also will be paid by us. Where to go? See, suppose you tell the US government, boss, I will pay in Indian rupee. He will laugh. He will laugh. He will say, what are you joking? So you pay me in dollar. Where is the dollar? I don't have dollar. Where will I get the dollar? I should have exported. I have not exported. So suddenly, where will the dollar come? I'll tell you. It came from borrowing, from the International Monetary Fund, from the Asian Development Bank. Am I correct? The World Bank. You borrowed heavily. I'm talking about 91. So don't confuse with today. 91 situation. So we were heavily in debt. Even to pay the interest on the debt, we were borrowing. Can you imagine? So at one point in time, the International Monetary Fund in 1990 said, enough is enough. All other countries are devaluing their currency. Look at Indonesia. If you take 1 rupee into Indonesia, you will get 1 lakh, 10,000 Indonesian rupiah. I'm not joking. Whenever I'm in Indonesia, I should say, if I give $50, $100, they will give so much Indonesian currency. I'll have to put in a bag and bring it. They have devalued like that. Okay, with inflationary pressures. I'm not commenting about that. But India, we did not do that. We were keeping our currency safe. Now, Manmohan, when he went to IMF, he had the same argument. He said, give me time. 3 years. Allow me. Permit me to do some things which will change this. They asked, what are you going to do? Then he gave the LPG proposal. He said, we will open up. We will open up the economy. We will allow foreign direct investment freely. Please understand, this is where 91 is a watershed. 1991 is a watershed year. Before that, foreigners coming into India and setting up business was controlled like anything, and it was all uncertain. A new government comes, they will send you out. So politically also, no, they said, no, we'll make it politically neutral. Policy will never change. Once you come in, you come in. And we will make it liberal. All that is not in your current syllabus. But it was, you have to understand it. Okay. So in 1991, we opened up. Please note, at that time, FERA was there, but we loosened it, loose, so that we allowed foreign direct investment. So much so that especially states like Andhra Pradesh, Hyderabad, Chennai, of course, Bengaluru, these three fellows had Anglophone population who was willing to take up employment in IT industry. So with the IT boom in 90s, suddenly we found these cities were attracting foreign direct investment. Foreigners were coming. Motor vehicles, automobile industry attracted foreign direct investment. Gujarat, Tamil Nadu again. We were able to attract FDI. So these people came and set up factories in our states. And investment money came in through foreign exchange. Also, these companies exported from India and they got foreign exchange. So by around 96, 97, India had more foreign exchange than it needed. In 1991, we had only 3 days ka foreign exchange, meaning next 3 days ka payment only was with us. Deadly situation. But in 96, 97, we have more than what we needed. So the Indian government said, hello, boss, you don't worry, you take it out if you want and invest it abroad. Which is when Ratan Tata went to US, invested in Chorus, made a mess. Then again invested in JLR. Your Airtel invested in Zain, Kuwait, African operations of Kuwait-based Zain, so on and so forth. I can give you 100 examples of ODA, which meant Indian economy was now open. Foreigners can come in and set up business. We can go abroad and do business. Import free. Buy whatever you want. If it's for manufacturing, no lies, nothing. Bring it in, pay. Whatever money you want to pay, free. We liberalized current account transactions. At the same way you export, but ensure that you bring the money back to India. That's all we're saying. So this is the framework of the Foreign Exchange Management Act. Right, sir? So these two are called current account. Current. Correct? These two, capital. As chartered accountant students, you'll easily understand. Balance sheet, P&L. P&L में current account. Balance sheet में capital. So, in our syllabus, we will be seeing up to current account and we will be seeing definition of capital account. That's it. We won't get into the regulations. The FEMA framework is like the Foreign Exchange Management Act. Then you have the FEMA rules. Then, very, very importantly, the Reserve Bank of India continuously sends regulations and circulars. So we have rules, regulations, and circulars. These are called APDIR circulars because these circulars are directions given to the authorized persons, AP, by the RBI. They are binding on the AP. Now the AP has to enforce it on the customers. The authorized persons become very important. The role that was being played by the Reserve Bank of India is now passed over to the authorized person, which is nothing but your bank or money changer. So these people now become agent of the Reserve Bank of India, or rather, they are responsible to the Reserve Bank of India. They are called authorized persons, right? Please understand this framework. You will easily understand current account capital. Current account freely permitted. We want to promote foreign trade. Am I correct? Facilitate external trade and payments. So free, buy whatever you want. Of course, some reasonable restrictions are going to be placed. The government of India felt that it can place certain reasonable. So the government itself places certain reasonable restrictions. Very, very reasonable. Otherwise, anything and everything you can do. Similarly, you can capital account transaction slowly getting liberalized, slowly, but they still want to be sure that there won't be flight of capital. Okay. So with this background, let me sort of move to definitions quickly. You can put your queries in the query pad or in the chat. Hello, brother, sister, if you have a problem, put it in the chat box. Don't waste your time typing out your problem. You got a problem in a query pad, put it in chat box. If you can access the chat box, the query pad, please put it in the query pad. Both I will see. Don't worry. Both I will see. Any questions, anytime. Maybe now it's all more generically, I'm giving you the background. As we get into question and answers, you might want to ask, I will tell you. Fairly simple topics are easy to score. Similar type of questions only being asked. Nothing very complicated. Once you know the framework, rules, that's it. You are there. 4 marks, 5 marks, straight. Enjoy. Currency is a definition. I think you know what is a currency. Am I correct? Currency means currency note. Postal notes, postal orders, money orders, checks, drafts, travelers' checks. Okay, all these are currency. Letters of credit, bills of exchange, promissory notes, credit cards, or such other similar instruments as may be notified by the Reserve Bank. See, any method by which value is communicated in that. Value is communicated. Piece of paper which communicates value. It's a currency. Any piece of paper is a currency. If it communicates value, if it is value. In fact, this is the philosophy on which cryptocurrency works. Though whether that's correct or not, I don't know. But as may be notified by the Reserve Bank of India is very, very important. That way, the rupee note that you have is called fiat currency because it is supported by the government of India or some government. I go to Malaysia, I exchange the dollar for Malaysian ringgit. I think it's ringgit there. Once when I was there with my family, my daughter, I gave her all the currency. I said, all the currency you keep and you maintain. And we were traveling across Malaysia, Thailand, and I think Singapore. So she kept track. And she gave me separate accounts in Singapore currency, Malaysian currency, and I got. And finally, she tallied it and gave in rupees. Okay. How does it matter? Because every currency can be exchanged for other currency, right? So long as it is supported by government, so long as if there is any problem, the government will take it. Okay. Now, currency again divided into 2 types. They divide Indian currency, which is expressed or drawn in Indian rupees. Please note, a check drawn. Can you see check is a currency? If it is drawn in Indian rupees, it is Indian currency. Traveler's check in Indian rupees, Indian currency. Got it? But does not include special bank notes and special 1 rupee notes. In fact, I have one 1 rupee note on my table, which is under the glass. I keep it there. Many times people ask me, both sides I display. People ask me, why are you keeping 1 rupee note? First of all, of course, it is very rare. Very rare. Some of you might be having it at home. 1 rupee note. Because 1 rupee note, I don't think it's any longer printed. 1 rupee note is not a currency. It is as good as money. Equivalent of gold has to be given to you. Whereas all your other notes, if you have a doubt, you can check up. All your other notes are promissory notes. All your other currency notes, your 20 rupees, 10 rupees, are all promissory notes. The promise is given by the governor of the Reserve Bank of India to you. Check it out. I promise to pay the bearer a sum of rupees 20 rupees, a sum of rupees 20. Signed Reserve Bank of India governor. So, technically, it is not current. It is not a what shall I say, a note. It is a promissory note. It is not a currency. Doesn't matter. Just for information. More for information. Okay. Because the sovereign government of India will accept the promissory note. It will never default on it. God forbid. But can't say like that for other countries. No? There are countries which have refused to meet their own obligation. High inflation. African countries are there where they print the currency. But there are some countries where, for example, Cambodia for that matter, you go to Cambodia, they will willingly accept dollar, their own currency. In fact, throughout my journey in Cambodia, I never saw Cambodian currency. Once I said, just for the sake of my collection, you give me one. And they gave me one currency, very, very low value. I took it. For the sake of collection, to keep in my currency collection. Otherwise, Cambodia, they said, you give me dollar. All prices are quoted in dollar. You pay in dollar also, they'll accept. Not correct, but they do it. Illegal. Okay. They don't even want to go through the exchange. We will take care, you give me. They'll give you currency back in dollar itself. Obviously, you won't accept Cambodian. Shows the amount of lack of commitment that the government has for its own currency. Now, obviously, foreign currency means any currency other than Indian currency. This is very important. Try to remember the definition. Very importantly, foreign exchange means the foreign currency. So, foreign currency is subsumed in foreign exchange. So, all definition of foreign currency included in foreign exchange. And it includes deposits, credits, and balances payable in any foreign currency. Suppose you are having an resident foreign currency account. As a resident, you are allowed to keep foreign exchange in a bank account. You are allowed to hold it in dollar. Today, with the liberalized world, you are allowed to do it in dollar. Boss, if you want to hold it in dollar, it is your risk. You can assume dollar will strengthen and the rupee will weaken. If so, then keep it in dollar. Right. But suppose the rupee strengthens and the dollar weakens. So it's a risk. If you're willing to handle the currency risk, hold it. Or you can have EFC, Exchange Earners Foreign Currency Account. You are an exporter of services or goods. You are getting foreign exchange. Instead of converting it into INR and taking it into your account, you can open an EFC account with the and hold it there in foreign exchange. Rather payable in foreign currency. So those deposits, credits, and balances are in foreign currency or foreign exchange. Drafts, travelers' checks, letters of credit or bills of exchange drawn in Indian currency but payable in foreign currency. Suppose you have a traveler's draft drawn in Indian currency but payable in foreign currency. Sir, simple, sir. You have an international card, I'm sure. All of you may have a card which is an international card. I have two. So when I travel abroad, I use my international card, which means my conversion charge is zero or nominal. Suppose I take my Indian card and I use it abroad, it will be accepted. But they'll charge me for the conversion, a substantial amount. Because they'll be buying and giving it to me. So they'll be charging me a margin. Whereas if I'm having an international card, one of the terms is, if I go abroad and use it, I can swipe it in dollar, I can swipe it in ringgit, I can swipe it in baht, I can swipe it in US dollar, whatever I want. They will ask me, when I get on the airport, they will ask me which currency you want. I'll say which currency I want, they'll Indian currency also. In Kuala Lumpur airport, I can use Indian currency or ringgit. They don't mind. They'll ask me, want payment in Indian? Because it is basically payable in Indian currency. They will get their money in foreign exchange. So it is drawn in Indian currency but payable in a foreign currency. I will prefer to take a local currency or a dollar which is safer for me, where I don't have any trade and I can gain by that. Depends on my decision. Similarly, drafts, travelers' checks, letters of credit, blah, blah, etc., drawn by banks or institutions or person outside India, but payable in Indian currency. Are you able to see? Drawn in Indian currency, payable in foreign currency. These are drawn outside India, obviously in foreign currency, payable in Indian currency. Sir, letter of credit is classic example, sir. A foreign bank opens a letter of credit in foreign currency, sir. When the goods are supplied, the letter of credit is closed. The foreign bank pays you, your banker, in Indian currency. There will be an exchange rate difference on that account, but they will pay. So the LC is in dollar, but payable in Indian currency, right? You might ask, why should I know all this? I'm a chartered accountant. I need to know international taxation. I need to know India, I need to know blah, blah. Why should I know this? Because later on, you're going to get into the complicated systems of accounting for international transactions, especially exchange rates. So basic knowledge of this law is needed, right? I'm not going to waste your time on securities. Okay, suffice it to say, security is defined in this act. Usually, most enactments, they won't define security. They will say it has the same meaning as given in the Securities Contract Regulation Act, SCRA. Even in Companies Act refers to SCRA, Securities Contract Regulation Act. But here they give security. Reason, there is something called foreign security. So, security means shares, stocks, bonds, and debentures, government securities, deposit receipts, units, etc. But does not include bills of exchange, promissory note, other than government promissory note. What is a government promissory note? A treasury bill. A GSEC is a government promissory note, boss. When the government of India gives you a deposit receipt, it is nothing but a promise to pay. Okay. These are all expressed in Indian currency. So foreign security means any security which is denominated or expressed in foreign currency. It includes securities expressed in foreign currency, but where redemption or interest or dividend is payable in Indian currency. Even then, if it is expressed in foreign currency, it is a foreign security. This becomes very relevant when you are going to invest in foreign shares of a foreign company, either as a portfolio investment or as a ODI, overseas direct investment. Person is also defined here because they define person so that they want to define person resident in India. So they want to define person, individual, HUF, company, firm, association of person, every artificial juridical person not falling within any of the above. Lastly, and I think very importantly, any agency, office, or branch. Normally, this won't come in any definition of person. Here they want an agency or an office or branch controlled by a person is also a person. A Singapore-based company has a branch in India. That branch is a person. An Indian company has a branch in Dubai. That branch is a person. An Indian company has set up a factory in Indonesia. That factory, that branch, or that operation is a person. So you have to decide whether it's a person resident in India or that we'll see the definition. From the exam point of view, 4 or 5 main topics are frequently tested in it. The most frequently tested is current account transaction, most frequently tested, followed by capital account transaction, followed by person resident in India. Frequently tested. Questions in the exam are on these areas. So it is very important for you to understand the definition. We will see the words and we will also see diagram. There is a diagram in your institute material which is good. You can use it. I only drew it. In the sense, the basic template, thereafter they've made it simpler. I should say they've done a very good job of that. The way in which it is presented. Flowcharts are very useful for preparation. Should not be reproduced in the exam. Flowcharts and diagrams should not be drawn in the exam. In the exam, no. In the exam, likhna chahiye. You have to write answer in words. But to write it, flowchart can help you to keep it in mind easily and write. Okay, so don't reproduce the flowchart. Use the flowchart to remember. Also, when a problem is there, if I have a flowchart, I can logically apply and give the answer. So that is why flowcharts are useful. Person resident in India means a person residing in India for more than 182 days. Straight away, sir. Man resided in India for more than 182 days. When? During the course of the preceding financial year. But we are now in 2025-26 financial year. How can I know? So you have to go back. Last year, what did you do? Based on that, this year we decide your residence. So fundamentally, if you are able to answer this question, Did you stay in India for more than 182 days during the last year? Yes. Straight away, I should say you are a PRIA. But before that, I have to check whether you come under one of these categories. So, did you reside in India for more than 182 days during the course of the preceding financial year? Yes. But a person who has gone out of India or who stays out of India for or on taking up employment outside India or for carrying on outside India a business or vocation outside India or for any other purpose in circumstances as would indicate his intention to stay outside India for an uncertain period. Sir, there are two ways of looking at it. Last year, you stayed for more than 182 days. Then you went off. You are not a person resident in India, even though you stayed for more than 182 days. Right. Last year, you stayed for less than 182 days. This year, in May, you went to Canada for employment. From up to May, whichever date you went, you are a person resident in India, sir. After that, you are a PRA. So we have to ask, did he go outside India for or on taking up employment outside India or for carrying on outside India a business or vocation or for any other purpose in such circumstances as would indicate his intention to stay outside India for an uncertain period where he is not clear why he is going. See, I travel abroad easily about 25 to 30 days in a year on leisure. I go as a tourist. When I leave India, I know for sure when I will come back. My tickets are booked. I have to come back. My Goa is here. Rather, at least Janani Janmabhoomi. I want to come back. I don't want to stay in some stupid foreign country. No, never. So I will come back. I know for sure when I will come back. But somebody may go there and indefinitely stay for uncertain period. I don't know when I will come. Like that. Okay. That is why US government is very, very, very tough in giving visa. When I wanted US visa, they asked me, what are you doing? Chartered accountant practice. Okay. Well, they saw my property drafting, etc. Wherever I have in Chennai, in Coimbatore. Then finally, clincher question. Do you have kids? Yes. Where are they? Both of them are in India. That's it. Visa granted. Because you are not an escape risk. You will come back. So, uncertain period. Okay. Another category. So, first category, man goes out of India. Even though he stayed for more than 182 days last year, he is a PROA. Till the date he went, he is a PRA, after that PRA. Person who comes to India. Got it? But first condition, very important. Stay in India for more than 182 days during the preceding financial year. Right? And coming to India for or taking up employment in India or for carrying on in India a business or vocation or for any other purpose in which, in such circumstances, as would indicate his intention to stay in India for an uncertain period. So, stay in India for more than 182 days. Very important. Then comes to India for employment, etc. Please see some examples, you'll understand. This is for individuals. For a person or body corporate registered or incorporated in India, including AOP, all of them, HUF, company, firm, AOP, everything. If it is registered or incorporated in India, PRIA. Outside India, PRO. If it is registered in India, PRIA. Outside India, PRO. So simple, sir. Singapore company has a Chennai subsidiary. The Chennai subsidiary is PRIA or PROI. Blindly, you can say PRIA because subsidiary is incorporated in India. Are you able to understand? Shouldn't have even iota of doubt. Singapore-based company is having a subsidiary in India, incorporated in India, registered in India. Then it is a Indian, PRII. You got it? Indian company has a subsidiary in New York or state of Mississippi, whatever. PROI. Because person resident outside India means a person who is not resident in India. Is it incorporated in India? No. Abroad. So it's not a PRI, it means PROI only. Now we come to this office or branch. Sir, office, branch or agency in India owned or controlled by a PRY. Now the same Singapore company, instead of having a subsidiary, has set up a branch or office in India. That office controlled by Singapore is a PRII. Though controlled by a Singapore-based company, because it is in India, it is a PRII. Similarly, a PRII is having a branch or office outside India, owned or controlled by such PRII. I use the word PRII. It is easy. Instead of saying person resident in India, I abbreviate PRII. I use the word PRY, person resident outside India. Instead of that, I say PROI. I hope it is okay for you. I'm using abbreviation. Okay. So don't worry. PRII, caps, full caps, means person resident in India. PROI, person resident outside. I'll be using this abbreviation frequently. Therefore, those of you who are having confusion, please get it clarified. So an office, branch or agency outside India, owned or controlled by a person resident in India. Right? Now let us see. We have already seen this. Moving on. PROI means person who is not resident. Citizenship is not relevant for determining residential status. Please note, somebody may be a citizen of US, but a resident under FEMA. Don't confuse citizenship. Similarly, many people will, especially in taxation, they will come and they will say, if I ask them, are you a citizen of India or foreign country or any foreign country? They'll keep on giving vague answer. No, I'm an Indian. Boss, you are Indian. Okay. A citizen of which country? I told you I'm an OCA. What OCA? OCA citizen of India. Right, boss? Are you a citizen of India or any other country? Keep on giving like this. Finally, I'll ask the clincher question. My dear friend, can I have a look at your passport? Can I have a look at your passport? Okay. So they will show me US passport. So why don't you have an Indian passport? No. I'm US citizen. So you are US citizen, no? Good. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you. No, I'm an OCA. Right, sir, you are OCA. But as it is, your allegiance is to the United States of America and not to India. Let's be clear about it. And this is important for me because in many cases, citizenship is relevant. For example, you studied OPC, where citizenship is very relevant. Am I correct? Foreign citizen cannot be a shareholder in an OPC. There it is. But here it is not relevant. Whether you are Australian citizen or Canadian citizen, US citizen or Indian citizen, stay in India is more important. Okay? Where a person comes to India for one of the three purposes, he will be considered a PRII from the date of arrival in India. Please note it, Your Honors. He will be considered a PRII from the date of arrival in India. You cannot argue that he came only in this year, next year only he'll be no. The minute he arrives for one of the three purposes. One of the three purposes, date of arrival, he is a citizen. He is a PRII. Now, what happened to that? Wow. What happened to that? Oh, one second. Give me 1 minute. I'll just I need to show that flow chart. I don't know what went to that flow chart. Once again, I'll quickly show you the flow chart. I don't know where it went off. Ah, yes. Yeah. Oh, wait, it's not in that slide. I'll copy it there. So basically, you have to ask the question, did that person reside in India for more than 182 days? Residence in India for greater than 182 days. Answer is no. Then straight away you should go to PROI. Ideally, you should go to PROI. Correct? But you have to ask a question. Did he come to India? If the answer is no, then straight. Got it? Bill Clinton did not reside in India for more than 100 days. Did he come to India? To my knowledge, no. PROI. No problem. Did he come to India? Yes. Was it for one of the three purposes? Yes. Then PRIA. I have one example. There's a lady, Carol Squire. She was the head of an NGO sitting in Delhi. So she came to India during 1 year. The minute she came and took her employment here for one of the three purposes, she becomes a PRIA from that day onwards. From that day onwards. Irrespective of her residence in India beyond the earlier. Maybe in the earlier previous year, she was less than 180 days. It's still, she came to India. From the date she came, she becomes a PRIA. Not for the three purposes. Tourists, enjoy. Okay. Even, for example, see, Robert comes to India, goes to a place called Tiruvannamalai, where he keeps roaming around. He meets Swamiji. He removes all his clothes, puts sacred ash all over the body, and he keeps roaming in the streets of Tiruvannamalai. Swamiji. 90 days later, 6 months later, in the heat of summer, Robert realizes, oh my God, what am I doing here? I should be in New York in a pub drinking chilled beer. What a fool I am. He immediately goes to his hotel, changes everything, and leaves for US. Stayed in India for more than 182 days. No. Did he come to India? Yes. But was it for the three purposes? No. As of now, becoming Swamiji is not a business. Okay. So, not one of the three purposes. So, not for employment, not for uncertain period, because he jolly well got a visa for a certain period. Extended, but got it. And once he realized that this is not the way to Nirvana, he ran away. Correct. So, he continues to be a PROI. Are you able to understand? Comes to India, only for three purposes, he'll become PROI. Not for the three purposes, only for three purposes, he'll become PRIA. Not for three purposes, PROI. Student is not three purposes. Student is not employment or business. Got it? And it's for a certain period. Because once your course gets over, you have to go. Right? Similarly, residence in India greater than 100 days. Yes. Now comes the question. During this year, did he leave India? Oh, yes, he left. Okay. Then, was it for the three purposes? Think about it. My brother-in-law, your brother-in-law, everybody's brother-in-law is in US, employed. I still remember my brother-in-law got married to my sister. That year itself, they left. In August, they left. Are you able to understand? In the earlier year, he stayed for more than 180 days. But he left India for the three purposes. That's it. He went for employment to New York. That's it. He's PROI. not for the three purposes. For example, I keep on going. I stay in India for more than 180 days. I keep going all over the world, come back. Not for the three purpose. Tourist, not three purpose. So I'm continuing to be PR again. My father residing in India last year greater than 180 days. This year did he leave India? No, he didn't even leave the house. He's 89 years old, staying in the house only. So PRII. I'm giving examples to help you understand. Okay. Let us see if you have any doubts. Now I will go back to my original slide. Yes. Let us see some problems. In the meantime, let me see. No, nothing in the chat box, nothing in the query pad. Okay. Which could mean that up to now you are clear. But if you have a doubt, ask me. I will answer. Mr. Ram had resided in India during the financial year 1819 for less than 183 days. So 1819 less than 183 days. He again came to India on 1st May 2019 for higher studies and business. That business is very important. So financial year 1819 less than 183 days. But again he comes to India for higher studies and business and stayed up to 15th July 2020. Examine Mr. Ram's residential status for financial year 1920 and 2021. See, 1920, strictly he should be PROI because he stayed for less than 183 days, less than 182 days, I should say, during the immediately preceding financial year. But during that year, 1920, on 1st May, he came to India for business. Therefore, he is a person resident here. From 1st May 2019, he becomes a person resident in India. Are you able to understand? Because he came to India and he stayed up to 15th July 2020. So, 1st May onwards means easily more than 182 days. He has stayed 1920 May. Then he leaves up to 15th July. But we don't know why he went abroad. On 15th July, he goes abroad. We don't know why. So, during the immediately preceding financial year of 1920, he stayed in India for more than 183 days, 1st May to 31st March. Am I correct? 1st May 2019 to 31st March 2020. So our man is a PRII. But suppose he went up to 15 July. Now, after 15 July, what did he do? Did he go abroad? Did he die? Why did he go abroad? Did he go abroad for employment? We don't know. Therefore, don't bother. For that year, he stayed for more than 183 days. So for 2021, he is a PRII. 1920, because he came to India, he becomes PRII. Otherwise, he should be PRI only. But he came to India, no, so PRI. Okay. My reasoning is because we don't know why he went abroad. Okay. That is why. Suppose he went abroad for business or employment, then in that year also he is a PROI. From 15th July onwards, up to 15th July, he'll be PRI. I hope you are clear. Now, we have finished Ram. Now, let's go to Kishan. Kishan resided in India during the financial year 1890. Good boy. He left India on 1st August 2019 for United States for pursuing higher studies. Oh, see, higher studies is not one of the three purposes. Are you able to understand? Higher studies is not one of the three purposes. Therefore, he continues to be a PR. See, 1920, 100% he is a PRIA. Thereafter, he stays in India for more than, he does not stay in India for more than 1 day. Please be careful. 1920, he is a PRIA. Because he stayed in India for 1819. He left India on 1st August, no doubt, but not for three purposes. Therefore, for that year, 1920, he continues to be PRIA. But for 1920 financial year, he left in August now. So August, October, November, December, January, February, March. 8 months, 18 to 30. More than 182 days. Correct? 240 days. So, not in India, outside India. Therefore, 2021, PROI. PROI. See, don't confuse. Sir, he was in abroad studying only. No, sir, it doesn't matter. For the previous financial year, did he stay outside India for more than 182 days? Correct. Why this exception operates for 1920? Because they are asking, they are telling, leave India. He left India. That time only asked what is the three purposes. Why did he leave India? Not for three purposes. Then he continues to be PRIA. Once he goes to America and stays for more than 183 days, PRY. Are you able to understand, see the difference there? This is a very nice, again, a nuance. Elia is an air hostess of the British Airways. She flies for 12 days in a month and thereafter takes a break for 18 days. Nowadays, air hostesses don't enjoy like that. Once this stupid despised it, na. I went traveled by that. Earlier, I used to travel. Why? Because slightly, in those days, it was convenient. Nowadays, it's useless. So I went from Chennai to Ahmedabad. 3 halts. Once in Bangalore, then again in Pune, Delhi, then Ahmedabad. So finally, I became very friendly with the air hostess. What is the area? She'll be sitting, they'll switch off the AC, so I'll come and stand near the pilot place, where that area only through air will be there. I'll come and stand. She'll be talking, I'll be talking. And we become very friendly with those girls. They really suffer. They have no time, free time. But Elia, she flies only 12 days in a month and takes a break for 18 days. Wow. If I tell that to those girls, they will get angry. Okay. So during the break, she is accommodated in base, which is normally in the city where the airways are headquarters. However, she was based in Mumbai. Whenever she came through British Airways to Mumbai, she stayed in Mumbai. During the financial year, she was accommodated at Mumbai for more than 182 days. So when you count the number of days, more than 182 days. She stayed in Mumbai more than 182 days. Question whether she is a person resident in India or a PRI. Now, see, it will be nice to say she is a PRIA because she came to India now. But be careful. Was it one of the three purposes? Please note the words used, Your Honors. It is for or on taking up employment. For taking up employment or on taking up employment. Whereas Elia did not come to India for or on taking up employment. She came in the course of employment, during the course of her employment, which is different from for or on taking up. Very important. Secondly, she did not maintain a permanent residence in India. She used to stay in hotels where she will stay in one room, another room. There was no permanent residence. So for two reasons, though her stay in India is more than 182 days, her residential status is still PROI. Very peculiar example. Printex is a classic question frequently tested in the past. In the final exam, at least 3 times they have asked this. Similar question. Singapore-based company having several business units all over the world. It has a unit for manufacturing computer printers with its headquarters in Pune. It has a branch in Dubai, which is controlled by the headquarters in Pune. What would be the residential status under FEMA of the printer manufacturing unit in Pune and that of Dubai branch? Friends, you can also give the answers. I see a lot of our old students here. We have a lot of, I can see names. Some of the earlier. Okay. At least Shagufta is a well-known name. Others also Soumya. Check it out. If you think you know the answer, do give. Shagufta answers. PRIA. Yes, she is right. See, branch in India controlled by a person resident outside India. Singapore-based company is PRY, but the manufacturing plant is in Pune, India. Controlled by a PRY, it is a PRIA. So the Pune branch, Pune factory unit is a PRIA. Now the Dubai branch. See, Dubai branch is not controlled directly from Singapore. It is controlled from Pune. Therefore, Pune is PRIA as a resident in India controlled by PRIA. Correct. Absolutely correct, Ms. P. Now, Dubai branch is outside India. But now that you have agreed that the Pune unit is a PRIA, the Dubai branch, which is controlled by the PRIA, Pune unit, is also PRIA. Got it? Because you said the Pune unit is PRIA, by definition, the Dubai branch, which is controlled by the headquarters in Pune, is also PRIA. Correct. Beautiful, beautiful. Once you start answering, see, my dear friends, as simple as this, 3 marks. FEMA is not tough at all. Once you know the basic principles, it's nothing. Check it out. This is an MTP question. MTP question. Very interesting. Mr. L was employed as a fashion designer in Elegant Textile Limited, a public company, limited company in Gurugram, India, during which the financial year 23-24, he had efficiently provided his service for 183 days during the above said period. 183, so more than 182. Okay, 183 is more than 182. On 1/4/2024. So during the financial year 23-24 is 183 days. On 1/4/2024, Mr. H, the HRM of Jeff Fashion Limited, Paris, a foreign country. Wow. Thank you for informing me that. First of all, Paris is not a country. France is the country. Paris is the capital. And thanks for it. Because there is, in Chennai, we have one place. This is called Paris Corner. The EAD Paris company's office is there. Their house is there. So that's called Paris. So many of us, we go to Paris regularly. Okay. So, of course, see, one more thing I'll tell you. The entire first paragraph is unnecessary. By and large, only relevant for me is financial year 23-24, more than 183 days stay. That's all. That's all. What he did in Gurugram, efficient, H, blah, blah. 1/4/24, he leaves. For what? For employment. That is important. So, L stayed in India for more than 183 days during financial year 23-24. He left India on 1/4/2024. He left India on 1/4/2024 for taking up employment in France or Paris, whatever. Even that is not relevant. He left India. What does it matter where he goes? For our purpose, let him go to Paris, let him go to Spain, Portugal. What is my problem? On 2/4, Mr. L left India. Wow. 1/4, Salman Grundy, born on Monday, christened on Tuesday. Offered on Monday, went abroad on Tuesday. Second, on 2/4/24, he left India for taking up employment as a production controller in Paris, not Chennai, Paris, in France, Paris. On 30/4/2024, he flew back to India. He went there to take up the employment and go and catch the job. Then some family function in Manali. Okay. Incidentally, there is a place called Manali in Chennai also. Of course, there's a place called Manali in Himachal Pradesh. I've been to Manali at least 3 times. Not Chennai Manali, HP Manali, Kulu Manali. Okay. I don't know if it's pronounced Manali or Manali. In Himachal Pradesh. Okay. Funny, na? Place names. There is a Salem in Tamil Nadu. There's a city called Salem in Massachusetts in US. It's also called SALEM, Salem. Okay. Anyway, so I'm sure you also know some similarities like that, I'm sure. Okay. Sir, when you're writing an answer in the exam, or madam, as the case may be, when you're writing an answer in the exam, remember, any answer in the law paper, I usually humbly suggest you divide it into 4 parts. First part, state the facts, represent the facts. Second part, write the law. You get marks for that. Even if your application is wrong, the fact that you know the law, you get marks. 50% you get. Then apply the law to the facts, conclusion, and then find out whether right or wrong. Then write a conclusion, 1 line. So 4 parts if you write. Suppose, sir, for 2 marks, should I write so much? No. For 2 marks, skip the facts, skip the conclusion. Write the law, apply the law. For 2 marks, 3 marks, no, write the law, apply the law. But for 4 marks, 5 marks, or 4 marks also, brief facts, law, apply the law, conclusion. Nicely you write. For 4 marks, you will get 3.5. For 2 marks, the chancellor will get 2. 2 on 2. 3 on 3. That is how you score in law. So here, what are the facts? Mr. L stayed in India for 23-24 more than 183 days. Left India on 2/4/2024 for taking up employment abroad or in Paris, if you want, though irrelevant. On 30/4/24, he returned to India for 10 days. Family function in Manali. Facts over. What is the residential status of Mr. L? Now you write, according to the Foreign Exchange Management Act, or if you want to be very particular, according to Section 2(5) of the Foreign Exchange Management Act. Person resident in India means a person for more than 180 days. But it does not include a person who comes to India for or on taking up employment, etc., etc. Written the answer, written the law. Now, apply the law to the facts. From the above example, it is to be noted that, Mr. L returned to India or came to India not for the 3 purposes, but only for attending family function. Therefore, he continues to be PRY. See, the problem is he comes to India. See, are you able to see the problem here? He left India on 2/4, he became PRY. When he left India, even though he stayed for more than 183 days in the previous year, from 2/4 onwards, he became PRY. But again, he comes back. Will he become PRIA? No, because it is not one of the 3 purposes. In case instead of vacation, he joins an employment. My God, what a rascal. He goes abroad, not even 1 month. Using that employment, he gets another employment, comes back. My God, whatever that may be. Your emotions have no role to play. Your opinion has nothing, no value. The law is simple. Did he come to India? Yes. Was it for one of the 3 purposes? Yes. Then PRIA. Then PRIA. So if he had come back for employment, then he becomes a PRII. Got it? On 34, if he comes for taking up employment, then we are AI. Right? So you should write it well. That's all I'm trying to tell you. This is an MTP, I think RTP question. From the day he joins employment in India, 34, after 34, he will become a PRII. This is section 3, which is technically the operative section. This prohibits dealing in or transferring in foreign exchange to any person not being an authorized person. Sir, in India, you are not allowed to make payment in foreign currency or foreign exchange. Only through an authorized person. You cannot receive or pay money in India in foreign currency or foreign exchange. Only through an authorized person. Similarly, you cannot receive foreign exchange otherwise than through an authorized person. Generally, you can't make any payment to any person resident outside India otherwise than through any authorized person. Okay. Strict prohibition. If this is disallowed, if this is disobeyed, see, FEMA was part of liberalization, sir. Earlier, FERA was tough. Punishment was tough. Criminal proceeding. Now they have liberalized FEMA. FEMA is now free. So long as your violations are not connected with money laundering, even then it is tough, sir. Leave me when I say. But at least Reserve Bank of India and ED are willing to look at compounding and taking off some big penalty and escape go. But compounding is allowed. Whereas once you get into money laundering, you go out of this. You get into coffee bazaar, conservation of foreign exchange and prevention of smuggling activities, or PMLA itself, which will hope it's not there in the exam. I think final syllabus they removed it. PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act. You have to apply. Okay. There it is very tough. Even here, if they suspect money laundering, even here, they suspect money laundering, the ED comes on you heavily. The Enforcement Directorate. See, RBI handles routines, but the minute you are seen as somebody suspicious, ED takes up. Why this is important to me, sir? Because tomorrow you're going to be in charge for the finances of a large multi-crore company here. Once you become a chartered accountant, a day will come when you will become completely responsible for the entire financial and compliance of a multi-crore company or a multinational company or a listed company. In which case, foreign exchange is one of the topics. You should know whether your company is compliant. Especially, you are exporting goods. You should bring the money back into India within 90 days. Have you done it? If you have not done it, in audit I may point out, I escape. But the liability is finally the company's, and when you are in charge. So you have to be very, very careful. Okay. The minute you delay receiving payment from a company, you supplied goods or services, and there's a delay in receiving money more than 90 days, you have to go to your banker and inform reason. And if it is more than 180 days, you have to go to the Reserve Bank of India and get approval and the reason you have to give. Why you are not able to get the money? Why you exported goods from India? Because the suspicion is that you received the money in US in cash. Are you able to understand? Thereby money laundering. You got the point? So that is why they are very, very particular about this. Similarly, Indian residents are not allowed to acquire, hold or own, possess or transfer foreign exchange, foreign security or immovable property abroad. So straight away they say you can't. If you are receiving any foreign exchange, you are entitled to the money, the funds, but the foreign exchange belongs to the government of India. It's a very, very fundamental point. You may not be able to understand this. Sir, you are entitled to get $100, sir. You are entitled to it, sir. $100 today worth, say, 85,000 rupees, sir. Sorry, 8,500 rupees, sir. No problem. That 8,500 INR, I'll give it to you, but $100 cannot be with you. It belongs to the government of India. Part of liberalization, what we are now permitting you to hold some portion of it in an RFC within the scheme. But you can't keep foreign exchange in your locker. No, without knowledge. Got it? There's a limit. $10,000 you can keep, sir. Up to $10,000 you can keep. Okay. Not more than that. Beyond that, if you want to keep, not allowed. Again, that is all within the framework of the law. Okay. In those days, I used to foolishly buy dollar and keep it, thinking that, I'm traveling abroad, dollar is only going up. No. Actually, there is no big deal there. Exchange rates are not that favorable. It cuts both ways. Dollar hasn't appreciated that much over so many years. I can as well invest it in an Indian mutual fund, good equity-based fund. I'll get higher return than Forex. And whenever I want, I can always exchange it at the current going rate. Or use a credit card that has no Forex markup and enjoy. So the principle operating here is very important. If you can remember this, it will be great. If you can remember this, it will be great. I'm just checking if any questions are there. So, current account transactions are freely permitted unless specifically prohibited. Capital account transactions are prohibited unless specifically permitted. So the whole framework of Foreign Exchange Management Act operates on this principle, sir. You have to understand it. Current account transactions are freely permitted unless specifically prohibited. Capital account transactions are prohibited unless specifically prohibited. So, from the exam point of view, what you need to understand, what are the current account transactions that are prohibited? What are the current account transactions that are prohibited or controlled? And what are the capital account transactions that are prohibited? And what are permitted? That's all. Once you know this, that's it. So you're going to see current account transaction. Very important. Maximum questions in the exam are from this area, especially from prohibited current account transactions. You should know what they are. Institute seems to be very particular that you should know it, because as a practicing CA or as a finance professional in employment, this will be a frequently questioned area for you in your job. You should know where there is a prohibition, where there is a control, where you have to get permission. That is why this is tested frequently by the institute also. So, current account transaction means a transaction other than capital account transaction. So, current account transaction not defined negative, but as an example they give. They're not defining it without prejudice to the generality. So, generality is, if it is not a capital account transaction, it is a current account. In other words, if it does not include balance sheet, it is current account. Asset or liability is current account. If it has connection with asset or liability, if it goes to the balance sheet, capital account. I'm giving easy way of understanding. Easy way. Don't immediately make it simple. Just for you to understand easily, I'm telling. Immediately don't argue based on that. But by and large, if it involves asset, liability, capital. No asset liability involvement, contingent liability involvement, current account. Straight away you can discuss. So payment of interest, current account. Payment for purchase of raw material, current account. I want to buy a book from Amazon abroad, sir, current account. Recently, I located a complete works of William Shakespeare, 3 volumes, fantastic, annotated, 13,000 rupees. From a foreign library, they sold it. I purchased it. It took me about 1.5 months to get it. 13,000 Indian rupee, but payable in US. I paid and I got it. Current account, freely permitted. I can pay. Through my credit card company will pay because it's freely permitted. They don't need anybody approval. But suppose I want to do something prohibited, they will put immediately box. Sorry, this transaction not allowed in your country. Sorry. So we'll see what they are. What is not allowed. Payments due as interest on loans. Remittances for living expenses. Parents, spouse, children. Expenses in connection with foreign travel. Education. Medical care. All are free. Enjoy. Any person may sell or draw forex to or from an authorized person if such sale or drawal is a current account transaction, provided that the central government may, in public interest and consultation with the Reserve Bank, impose such reasonable restrictions for current account transactions. So central government has given reasonable restrictions, not RBI. Very important point. It is not the Reserve Bank of India. It is the central government Ministry of Finance which has placed these restrictions, for which they have given a rules. You can try to remember it. Foreign Exchange Management, Current Account Transactions, Rules 2000. CAT. Under that rule, you have Schedule 1, 2, 3. You have Rule 3, 4, 5. So Schedule 1, read with Rule 3. These are all transactions which are prohibited. You cannot do it. Let us say somebody comes to India or you are in India, you win a lottery, 5 crores, you decide, this stupid country, why should I stay? 5 crores, I'll go to US, buy the city or go to Dubai, buy golden visa, settle down, buy a house, enjoy. Sorry, any money which is coming from lottery winning cannot be taken out of India. Okay? Remittance of income from racing, riding, etc. You cannot take abroad. You won in India, enjoy in India. Okay? Reverse. My co-brother is there. He was in Ireland for some time with his daughter. When he went there, he's a gambler, always playing rummy and all. When he went there, he found the Irish sweepstakes. See, the Irish sweepstake is very, very simple. Football is very popular there. So they play football in Ireland now. Those matches, you have to predict who will win. If the team that you predicted wins, you win. It's called Irish sweepstakes. The Irish themselves are superb gamblers. So our man goes there, he also becomes a gambler. So he comes back to India. Now, when he was in Ireland, he took money from his son-in-law and paid. But now he's in India, he has to pay his own money. So he's trying to make payment through the card for buying Irish. He goes to the website and all. And he is going to download it when payment through credit card. His credit card company will tell, sorry, you can't send for purchase of lottery tickets, sweepstakes, football pools, proscribed magazines. Proscribed magazine means magazines which are not allowed to be read in India. Maybe because of terrorism or whatever. Whatever it is, such items, very reasonable restriction now. See, you cannot argue, sir, I will buy the lottery ticket, I will win 1 million euro. I will bring it to India and develop my country. Okay, no need. You don't buy lottery ticket for that. You work hard, earn in India and give it in India. What is that? Who is preventing you from developing India? By working hard. Huh? Okay. Payment of commission on exports made towards equity investment in JVs and wholly owned subsidiaries. See, you have taken money out of India to invest in a JV abroad. Or you want to form a wholly owned subsidiary abroad. Why you formed? In order to promote exports, in order to get a contact in that country. Now, So huge amount was taken by you for that investment. Now we permitted. Now you want to pay commission also on the exports made in that country through this way? No. Either you have an agent abroad, arm's length, you pay commission, okay. Otherwise, no, not allowed. Prohibited. See, these are all logical. See, in those days, when a company got foreign collaboration, in those days, nowadays, this whole thing is now meaningless now. Believe me when I say that. This because today there is no foreign investment promotion board, nothing. In those days, when we permitted foreign investment in India, we also put a dividend balancing clause. What we said was, you have, see, a French company invests in a joint venture in India. So obviously that French company can share, we have to give dividend now. But our country, they will say, look here, you can't take dividend unless you export 4 times the dividend or 5 times the dividend. That's called dividend balancing. So if you want to take $100, you have to export to $400. Only then this dividend can be remitted. Please note, income is not prohibited. You can declare the dividend. You can credit his account in India. Please note it, Your Honors. If he has an Indian account, you can remit it and credit it in India. Or you can keep it in the unpaid dividend account. But you cannot send it out of India. Prohibited. Unless the dividend balancing clause is satisfied. Payment of but believe me, this is all outdated, boss. Today nobody bothers. First of all, today JV itself is not there. Why he will come for JV? He will as well straight away come and see Hyundai. What JV? Directly Hyundai came and established in Tamil Nadu in Sriperumbudur, right? They didn't pay. They didn't get any JV and all. Unlike the poor fellows, Maruti Suzuki, they came with the government of India. Mess of a mess. To get rid of them. So now nobody will do that nonsense of JV with Indian bank. Maximum what they'll do is they'll come and acquire this guy. There is an existing Indian player. Simply they'll say, I'll buy you. Tell me how much. Coca-Cola, na? Straight away. Parley. Tell me how much. Get out. That's all. That is part of liberalization. But before FEMA, Cocos, before liberalization, there was a time, the dark ages, where there was no Coca-Cola in India. Can you imagine? I have lived in an era, 1970s, 79, 75 to almost early 90s, when we could not drink Coca-Cola in India. Maybe that was a blessing only. Maybe that was good for us. But Coca-Cola was not important. When we used to go to Sri Lanka, we'll drink Coca-Cola because Coca-Cola not available in India. Okay. Payment of commission on exports under the rupee state credit route. See, rupee state credit route, very few countries will accept rupee. For example, Russia will accept. Okay. So in those cases, they say no commission and only 10% on tea and tobacco. Okay. Payment related to callback services. Okay, this is another classic. There are many foreign websites. You go there, they'll give you a number. If you call, you'll give good horoscope. Okay. You try calling that number on your Airtel or your Idea or whatever. Immediately you'll get a ping and message, not permitted. Because what happens now, when you call these numbers, they will ask you they will charge your service provider. They will take money from him. And your service provider will collect from you the premium. For example, you make a call. You speak for 5 minutes. You'll be very surprised to see your bill. Because international call. And they would have collected money from your guy. Plus, he will add a margin and charge you. So, first of all, it's not good calling those numbers. Secondly, prohibited. Remittance of interest income on funds held in NRSR. Sir, there is something called NRE where they pay interest. You can repatriate it. You can take it outside India. But in NRSR, non-resident special rupee account, you get a higher interest, but you cannot repatriate. It cannot be taken out of India. Therefore, prohibited. Very logical, na? It is non-repatriable. Therefore, prohibited. See, these prohibitions are very fair and very simple. Other than this, almost everything is freely permitted, boss. Whatever you want. In those days, we couldn't get. Today, you can buy. I told you now. I can't imagine buying this annotated works of Shakespeare about 15, 20 years ago. I couldn't imagine. I have to go to my bank, apply for foreign exchange. I mean, nothing. Today, thanks to Amazon, I can buy it. So now we come to Schedule 2, read with Rule 4. Now, before that, let us have a small break, maybe 10 minutes. Okay? Let's have a small break, sir. well-deserved break. And so this is Schedule 2. We saw Schedule 1. Schedule 1, read with Rule 3, prohibited. Schedule 2, read with Rule 4, important. These are matters which are require permission of the Reserve Bank of India. These are matters which require permission of the Reserve Bank. Sorry, require permission of the Ministry of the Government of India. So idea is these are not actually bad, but we want to be sure that they are genuine. So obviously RBI cannot take responsibility. So they say, let that ministry approve it, we will send you the money. We will allow you to send the money. So for each type of activity, they give ministry. So what you should do is take a little time, left hand side, right hand side. Just remember, that's all. Cultural tour abroad. You want to organize a cultural tour. You are a Bharatanatyam dancer. You want to take a troupe of artists to all over Far East. No problem. Get approval from HRD, Education and Culture. Done. You can take. Advertisement in foreign print media, other than for promoting tourism, foreign investment, and international bidding by a state government and its PSU. State government and PSU can promote tourism, foreign investment, and international bidding above $10,000. They don't have to get permission because they are the ministry. Yeah. Other than that, if you want to advertise in foreign print media, then Ministry of Finance, Department of Economic Affairs. So Reliance, if Larsen & Toubro wants to give an advertisement in a German magazine, approval from Ministry of Finance, Department of Economic Affairs. Remittance of freight of vessel chartered by a PSU, Ministry of Surface Transport. Payment of import through ocean transport by a government department or a PSU on CIF. See, this is not for private, only for government department. They have to get interministerial approval. Multimodal transport operators making remittance to their agents abroad. See, multimodal transport is known as logistics. So what happens is, we have freight forwarders. We have a lot of clients who are freight forwarders. What they do is they book container space on a ship. Now, whenever they book container space, see, you want to book space on a ship coming from Dubai, which will be loaded in Dubai, or you want to book space from Singapore, or you want to book space in Kochi, whatever you want to do, you need an agent abroad for doing it. You will be his agent in India. Please remember, you will be his agent in India, he'll be your agent. Now, the commission you have to send enough. For that, you need to get a registration of the DGF, Director General of Shipping, DGSI. Okay. Similarly, you are a TV channel. You want to pay hiring charges for transponders. Then you have to get approval from the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. You are an internet service provider. Then you have to get from Ministry of Communication and Information Technology. Okay. Similarly, container detention charges beyond the rate prescribed by the Director General of Shipping. You have to get approval from Ministry. See, container detention happens in Singapore or Shanghai, where they are very, very busy. Your ship comes in, it will unload. If it is not cleared, then you have to pay container detention charges. They give you a certain time. Beyond that, demurrage. You can't just like that keep it on the wharf. You have to take it. If you are not, your logistics guy is not efficient, pay. So very costly. But they allow a certain amount. But beyond that, you have to get approval. See, these are all little bit technical. They are connected with certain businesses. That's all. And they have to go. Other than this, everything else you can do whatever you want. Remittance of prize money or sponsorship of sports activity abroad by a person other than international, national, state level sport bodies. If the amount involves exceeds 100,000. See, you are promoting a sport. You are calling for people to come to India and participate. And you want to give money, prize money, for the person to take it abroad. If it is through an international, national, or state level sports body, no problem. Otherwise, you have to get the approval of the Ministry of Human Resource Development. We'll see one problem on that. Remittance for membership of P&I Club, Ministry of Finance. Fair. This is for insurance industry. Okay. Now, Mr. Rohan Sharma, an international cricket player, has started a cricket academy, Rohan Sharma Cricket Academy, a private coaching club which provides coaching for cricket. The academy has a cricket team which participates in cricket matches all over India as well as outside India. Now, in collaboration with Melbourne Cricket Academy, we are organizing a cricket event in Melbourne, Australia. Okay. There's a beautiful stadium there in Melbourne. So I've seen it. It's called the Melbourne. It's a beautiful Melbourne state cricket stadium. Okay. So there they want to do it. So in the month of May and June. So Rohan Sharma is required to remit 200,000 to Melbourne Cricket Academy as part of its share for organizing the cricket event. Can it do so? See, do you notice the structure here? Law, Section 5, the definition of current account transaction. Schedule 2, read with Rule 4 of the rules. Whatever is given here. Accordingly, Rohan Sharma can, because it is an international body. Okay, Melbourne Cricket Club, Cricket Academy is an international body. Okay, now, Rohan Sharma can withdraw after obtaining permission from the Ministry of Human Resource Development. Suppose, instead of Rohan Sharma Cricket Club, Cricket Academy, it is the BCCI, which is the national level sports body for cricket, or TNCA, which is the state level cricket body in Tamil Nadu. Then no need for any approval from anybody. But since Rohan Sharma Cricket Club is not a state level, international or national level sports body, he cannot. Okay. He has to get the approval of the Ministry of Human Resource Development. Right. So this is Rule 4 read with Schedule 2. Schedule 2 read with Rule 4. Right. Now, these 9 items are there. 8 items plus 9 open. All these earlier had separate and specific sublimits. Now currently, Schedule 3, read with Rule 5. Earlier, there were specific limits above which you had to get the RBI prior approval. Now, freely opened as part of liberalization, up to $250,000 you take for any of these purposes. Private visit to any country, except Nepal and Bhutan. Both these countries I have been, and both the countries jolly well will accept Indian rupee. Except that because of counterfeiting by Pakistan, they do not accept 2,000 in those days. Even 500 now they are worried. So when you go to Nepal or Bhutan, please take 100 rupee note, 200 rupee note. Don't take 500 off. 500 rarely they accept. 2,000 never, and now 2,000 is not there anyway. So Nepal and Bhutan, they are supposed to accept INR. Though they are hesitant to accept 500. Even 500 they will accept in big cities. But go interior, they won't. Gift or donation you want to give, no problem. Going abroad for employment. See, this is for individual. My dear friends, please note it, Your Honors. We are talking about individuals. Donation for non-individuals. We'll see that later. Okay. This is for individual. So individual, you want to give a gift to your cousin, $500, do it, enjoy. You are allowed. Going abroad for employment, you want to take some money, go, take it. Immigration, get out, go. Maintenance of those relatives. See, sorry, by now you notice that I'm having a slightly derogatory view about people who go abroad for employment. Sorry, that's a personal view. Don't worry about it. It's my view because I never went abroad. I was able to survive and grow in this country. It's a beautiful country. You don't have to go abroad. You can be in India and be a great person. Janani Janmabhoomi. He said, Rama told this. Sri Ramachandramurti sitting in Sri Lanka. He has conquered Ravana. He has become the Lankeshwara. And he could have ruled in Lanka. And he need not have returned to Ayodhya at all, where he was not. He was chased away by his stepmother. But Lakshmana even says, let's stay here. And now why are we going back? And Rama said, no. In Champu Ramayanam, you'll find this. He says, this Swarnamayim Lanka Menagari, he says, I am not happy with this golden Lanka. I want to go back to my Janani Janmabhoomi, where I can be. So this has been my philosophy. Janani Janmabhoomi. Okay. So don't think abroad there is some greatness. Nothing. Okay. And you have to be constantly afraid when they will ask you to get out, and how they will ask you to get out. So better you stay in your own Janani Janmabhoomi. This is my view, 60-year-old man, my view. Take it or leave it. It may be wrong. Maybe my inability to go abroad. Not really. In 1987, when I qualified as a chartered accountant, I was 21 years old. I could have easily written my GMAT and pursued an MBA there. All India rank holder 2 times. Easily I could have finished the GMAT, gone abroad on a scholarship. My father would have easily funded me. No, sir. Why? Our own country is there. So going abroad for employment, chalo, immigration, please go. Maintenance of close relatives abroad. Okay. And travel for business or attending conference. Expenses in connection with medical treatment abroad. Studies abroad. Wow. Today that is becoming almost suicidal for many students who have gone on scholarships. The Trump government is cancelling all the scholarships. These children have to come home. They are frustrated. In many cases, the fathers and mothers are begging, borrowing to put their children in foreign universities. And finally, they don't get a job. And they come back to India. And they won't get, for their so-called US salary, they won't get in India. And they are so frustrated. Some of them commit suicide. Why? Indian universities are very good. Study here. Great universities are there. What is wrong? Agreed. Let us improve our education system instead of blaming it and going abroad. Any other current account transaction, all put together, subco $250,000. Okay, that is under the liberalized remittance scheme. Means $250,000 for 1 year full. All these put together 250. Sir, how about, sir? I want to go for immigration, sir. I need more money. Okay. I want to put my child through abroad studies, sir. Okay. I want to pay for my father's treatment in Amsterdam, sir. Okay. In these 3 cases alone, 4, 7, and 8. 4 immigration, 7 medical treatment, 8 studies abroad. They give a liberalization. They say you can pay in excess of the limit in LRS. If it is so required by a country of immigration or the medical institute or the university. So you produce their fee slip, take the money. Please be careful for all this, but for these 3 exceptions. Once you go through these exceptions, go to the bank, produce the proof of excess, they will send. Other than that, 250,000 is the common limit. Whatever you use will be reduced. So finally, 250,000, not a penny more, not a penny less. But exception, a person who is resident but not permanently resident in India and a citizen of a foreign state other than Pakistan is a citizen of India who is on deputation to the office, a branch of a foreign company. These fellows alone can remit their entire net salary. What it? Net salary. Okay. See, we had a guy. He is native. He is a citizen of Australia, settled in Singapore. His family is in Singapore. For work, he came to India. He took over as the MD of a multinational company for which we were the auditors. So this guy used to send almost 90% of his salary to Singapore for maintenance of his family. Who is a resident but not permanently resident? A PRII on account of his employment or deputation, the duration of which does not exceed 3 years, is a resident, not permanently resident. Okay? But two conditions: a citizen of a foreign state other than Pakistan, or a citizen in India who is on deputation. And he should be a resident but not permanently resident. Then he can send his entire salary. See, now we have finished individual. Other than individual, certain special category of remittances are covered here. One is donations, either for creating a chair in a reputed institution, or you just want to contribute to the funds promoted by an educational institute. Okay? Contribution to a technical institution. Up to 1% of the foreign exchange earnings. Sir, exam point of view, very, very important. ABC Limited wants to donate to an education institute abroad or a technical institution abroad. Okay? Then they can do so up to 1% of their foreign exchange earnings during the previous 3 financial years. Or $5 million, whichever is less. Whichever is less. So, sir, I am not having any exchange earning, then 1% of 0. That's all. You can't do this. But if you have some foreign exchange earnings, then up to 1% you can give. Okay. Commission for agents abroad for sale of residential flats. See, you want to attract NRIs to come in. So you set up an office in Dubai. No, why waste money? You hire an agent and you pay commission to him. You can. Up to $25,000 or 5% of the inward remittance, whichever is more. Okay? But suppose you want to go beyond this, you can. But you have to get the prior approval of the servant. If you say any of these you want to go, sir, you can do more than this also, sir. LRS is freely given. Suppose you want more than that, other than these 3 items, then any of this, please get prior approval of RBI, we'll give it to you. That's it. These are not prohibited. There is no limit of 250. 250 is liberal. Without approval, you can take it. If you want to go beyond 250, come to me. Come to RBI. Why? For what you are taking? You want more? For what? You are traveling for business. For what you need? What business you are doing? All these questions will come. But within 250,000, no need to answer any question. Just simply you tell banker, going abroad to Amsterdam for business. That's all. Why you are going to Amsterdam to enjoy life? That is not his problem. Okay? But if you go to RBI, he will ask, why are you going? What is that conference you are attending? Remittances for any consultancy services. Up to 10 million per project for infrastructure. 1 million for other consultancy services. So this is an omnibus clause, sir. Even I'm sorry to say, bankers misuse it. Suppose a very good client goes to him and says, I want to send urgently. Beyond the level LRS, I want to go. Or I don't want to go to RBI. Can you help me? Immediately you'll push it under consultancy services and send it. Rascals that they are. Then later on you will be in deep trouble in RBI. Because RBI audit will come and ask, what is the nature of consultancy? At that time, the same bank, which was your friend, will become enemy. So my general advice to you is, on FEMA matters, do not consult banker. Rather, banker is a service provider. Consult a FEMA expert, okay, who knows FEMA. Or you study FEMA. Understand and then go. Otherwise, don't The banker can never be a consultant. Bankers know next to nothing. They only know that month, that day circular. They don't have to, except for a few bankers, rare banker. They are all brilliant guys. But the guy who's sitting there knows next to nothing about FEMA. He only knows his own bank circular. He has not even seen the APDIR circular. Fellow has not read the master circulars. If you show him also, he won't know what it is. Or else what he will do is, he will say, I'll consult Bombay and come back. Bombay, one expert will be sitting. If possible, you talk directly to that expert. I always do that. Any client comes to me, FEMA matter, I'll tell him, boss, I don't want to talk to the donkey in the branch. You tell me who is in Bombay or who is in, some of the bigger banks have local exchange control division. Tell me who is in ECD who is going to deal with this. Who's going to do it? I will talk to him directly. And I will go visit him or talk to him directly and finish. He will understand, I will understand. Because both of us know the APDA circular. And we will talk. Then you will say, Srikanth, you know very well what it is. Why don't you do like this? Why don't you do like that? Or if your client wants, we can do this. Otherwise, not possible. Something. And then we can come back to the client and say, boss, this is how the law is. If you're willing to go through that route, he'll get approval. Otherwise, you're not going to get approval for this. Sorry. Whereas the banker will either to help the client, he will do some mistakes, or he'll be so rigid that the client will never get a solution. Either way. I mean, this comment is given based on my extreme 40 years experience with bankers before FEMA, after FEMA, during FEMA, everything. Okay. The remittance, but then you need the banker because he is the guy who's going to do it for you. He is the authorized person. The explication will go through him only. So you can't avoid him also. So remittances by an entity in India by way of reimbursement of pre-incorporation expenses. Okay, 5% of the investment. So, exam point of view, your time will be well spent memorizing all this. Please take a little time, read to remember. I have now covered, you have heard Srunam. Then Shruti, you have heard. Good. First level. Then you have to do Mananam. You have to read and remember. 2-3 times. Right. Maybe then easier. Then work out some MTP, RTP questions. That's it. You are in business. Okay. So here's an MTP question for you. Mithali Diamonds Limited is a company engaged in business of cutting, polishing, blah, blah, blah. What is the point? The company has exported 5 years export earnings given. Thank you. Company wants to give donation of $10,000 to an institution situated in USA. Okay. Which provides technical support in the field of cutting and polishing. So it covers this condition. Technical institution or association in the field of activity. So it is in the field of activity of Mithali Diamonds. So the first paragraph tells you Mithali is in cutting polishing. This paragraph tells you that the institution is also in cutting polishing. Technical support. Now, can they give donation? Yes, they can. Up to 1% of the foreign exchange earnings for the immediately preceding 3 financial years or 5 million, whichever is less. So, $3,300. How do we get it? 1% of 1,25,000 plus 1,10,000 plus 95 gives us 5 million, $3,300. Or you can go 5 million, whichever is less. Therefore, up to $3,300 without RBI approval. But if you want to give $10,000, then you have to get approval. Okay. Similarly, here is a slightly easier one where they give you the average earnings last 3 years. Total foreign exchange earnings. That is, they're giving total of these 3. 600. Okay. So you can go up to 1% of the foreign exchange during the previous 3 financial years. Total. So the total is given here. What is the maximum amount the company can donate? 600 million into 1%, 6 million or 5 million, whichever is less. So 5 million you can give. Correct? Up to 5 million you can give without RBI. Right, sir? STU Limited, 250 million. They want to donate 3 million. So 250 million, you can go up to 2.5 million or 5 million. So 2.5. So 3 million is about 2.5. Therefore, you can give. Nobody is preventing you from giving 3 million, Baba, but you have to get approval of FBI. Let's see if any question is there. Correct. P gives 6 million now. No. See, madam, it is 1% of 3 years annual earnings or 5 million, whichever is less. Whichever is less. Okay? Are you clear, Ji? So if the transaction is not listed in any of the above three schedules, it can be freely undertaken. Okay. So these are all standard questions asked in the past, right? Easily you can answer it if you know the schedules. Exports made towards equity investment, wholly one prohibited. Remittance for hiring charges of transponder by TV channel, information and broadcasting ministry approval. That's all. 10,000 on commission under AP state credit, prohibited. US dollar 30,000, take it, up to 250,000, enjoy. Remittance of 200,000 for payment as prize money to the hockey tournament, approval of HRD ministry. That's all. If you know that, if you know the schedules, chuck, you can answer. $10,000, no way for going to Nepal. Sorry, Nepal you can't take. US dollar 10,000 for commission agent in USA for sale of commercial plot. There's a limit. Up to that you can go. Beyond that you cannot go. Okay. $25,000 or, do you remember? 5% of the inward remittance, whichever is more. So, 5% of the inward remittance, right, comes to $500, I think. 1 lakh, 5%, $5,000. Okay, $10,000. Whichever is higher. Up to $25,000 you can give. Take it, go, enjoy. So like this, there are many things here. Very, very straightforward, frequently tested area. Extremely. So $120,000 you can take, even if it exceeds 250,000, you can take. Gift remittance 10,000, take it. See, here you should mention very clearly about liberalized remittance scheme there. That the total limit is 250, etc., etc., etc. For education abroad, even if it takes more than 250, you can take, provided you get estimate from the. Okay. Don't get confused here and say best estimate, basis of estimates. Estimate is only possible, yeah. Nobody can predict, but based on that, you can give. Now we come to capital account transaction. Straight away, definition is there. Capital account transaction means any transaction which alters assets or liabilities in India belonging to a PROI. Read like this. Capital account transaction means any transaction which alters assets or liabilities in India belonging to a PROI. Capital account transactions means any transaction which, which alters. Wait again. So read like this. Or any transaction which alters assets or liabilities, including contingent liability outside India for PRIA. See, when a PROI wants to buy a asset in India, approval is needed. When he wants to borrow in India, approval is needed. He is altering it. Altering includes creation, modification, deletion. All three: create, modify, delete. Okay. Similarly, for an Indian, it is if you want to buy abroad. But today, with LRS, if you want to buy a property outside India, up to $250,000 you can take and buy. You want to buy a flat in Dubai, please go ahead. But $250,000, what flat you'll get in Dubai? Go and find out. For $250,000, what flat you'll get in Dubai? Just check out and come. You can buy it. You can take it abroad. No, they allow you. Okay? But up to 250 per person per year. So if your wife is also there, 500,000 you can take. Enjoy. Sometimes when I see people leaving our country, settling down abroad, I think everybody makes me happy. Some when they come, others when they go, like that. Okay. So, assets or liabilities including contingent liabilities outside India belonging to a PRIA, right? So, any person may sell or draw foreign exchange to or from NAP for a capital transaction in accordance with the regulations. Basically, capital account transactions are prohibited unless specifically permitted. Okay. So, there are certain prohibited transactions. Very, very important. Please remember, these transactions are prohibited. PRO is prohibited from making investment in India in any form, in any company, partnership firm or proprietary concern, whether incorporated or not, which is engaged in or proposes to engage in chit fund business, nidhi company, agricultural or plantation activities, real estate business or construction of farmhouses. But development of townships, construction of residential, etc., that is not coming under real estate. So we have ourselves obtained approval for a client who was having a huge tract of land in urban area where they wanted to promote residential township. So they got FDI. So we helped them to get the FDI also. Similarly, TDRs. See, developmental rights are rights given by the owner for developing. Okay. That TDR you cannot invest. Foreigner, capital account transaction, foreigner cannot, PROI cannot. Okay. Which is why many foreign companies want to come to India. First time I meet the directors or whoever it is, for the first meeting, I ask them, what do you want to do? We want to set up a factory in India. I'll tell them, sir, please incorporate a company in India. Make it your wholly owned subsidiary. Then no problem. The wholly owned subsidiary can buy land, can do whatever it wants. Whereas if you want to do directly, for everything, I have to go and get approvals. It is not worth it. So they immediately form a WOS. We handle it for them in India. They invest into the WOS. They write. Transfer pricing is there, no doubt. We handle DP also, not a problem. We can handle it. Anyway, it's going to be there. So, Panda, a software engineer of Indian origin, took employment in USA. Wow, so proud of him. He is a resident of USA for a long time. He decided to acquire a farmhouse in Munnar. No, sorry. To make an investment in Nidhi Limited. No, sorry. To make investment in Rose Real Estate Limited, an Indian company formed for the development of township. Okay, chalo. Third item alone allowed. 1 and 2 prohibited. And he has a brother who's called Mr. Unsatisfactory. We'll come to him later. Okay. So these are all prohibited capital account transaction. Okay. But please note the LRS limit of 250,000 is available for a resident individual. Okay. For a capital account. I told you, up to $250,000 you take, do whatever you want, buy a flat in Dubai. We don't ask you. But if you use it for it, then you can't use for current account. Be careful. that year current account, you have to go to RBI for approval. Okay? Of course, that 250,000 cannot be invested in a country which is notified as non-cooperative country. You can go and see that. FATCA country. Whenever you go to bank now, first thing they'll do is they'll take a FATCA certificate from you before you engage in a foreign transaction to say that this money is not going directly or indirectly to a FATCA country. There are many countries. Brunei is one. A lot of countries are there. Fantastic countries where you can do anything you want, no tax, no extradition. Antigua. In the West Indies, you have a lot of countries. Antigua. Your Nirav Modi ran away there only. Nirav Modi. You remember? The rascal ran away to Antigua only. Not Narendra Modi. Oh, Nirav Modi. He ran away. So, a PRIA may hold, own, or transfer or invest in foreign currency or immovable property situated outside India if the same was acquired, held, or owned by him when he was a PRY. See, when he was a PRY, he purchased the house, etc. Once he comes back to India and becomes PRIA, still he can deal with it. This has been frequently asked in the exam. Similarly, a PRY may hold, own, or transfer or invest in Indian currency, Indian security and movable property if the same was acquired or owned by such person when he was a PRY or inherited from a PRY. Okay? So he can continue to do it. Right? Sorry. Actually, this should be, I'm very sorry. This should be PRIA. See, when the man was a PRIA, suppose he has done it, then he can I will change it later. When he was a PRIA, if he purchased it, even after he becomes PRY, he can deal with it. Okay? Authorized person is an authorized dealer, bank, money changer, or offshore banking unit. Okay? APs are responsible for the functioning of the law. They are the administrators. They are given a license by the Reserve Bank of India. That license can be revoked at any time by the RBI if the AP is misusing or not complying with the conditions, etc. Reserve Bank of India under Section 11 will issue direction to APs. I told you, APDIR surplus. They are binding on them and they have to in turn give it to their customers. Which is why very smartly what the bank will do now, when you go there, first thing they'll do is send a mail to you with the APDIR circular, asking you to go through it. You'll go mad. That's why I say before you go to the bank, go to a FEMA consultant or a FEMA expert who knows FEMA. We will advise you. And then you go to the bank, then they will know you know what the subject is. They will talk correctly to you. The problem is many people, first time they go to the bank, now the bank takes over. Then after all the damage is done, they come to us, chartered accountants, FEMA experts. By the time damage is done, banker has some greenhorn bank guy who qualified as an MBA from college, joined 3 years experience guy, sitting in that office will damage the whole thing and go and make a mess of it. And then he will run away. He will be transferred or he will go to some other bank. Then the client will be in deep trouble. And we have to go to RBI, condemnation. Of course, for us, it is good money, fees, consulting fees. But why put that poor man into suffering here? So the authorized person has the right to request for information. Are you able to understand? And he can verify before entering into the transaction. You cannot question why he is asking, because he is performing the function of the Reserve Bank of India. Similarly, the RBI will audit the authorized person and produce his records. Okay. In case the AP fails to comply, 10,000 rupees penalty and 2,000 for every day during which the contravention continues. Okay. Under the FEMA, the appellate authorities are basically the adjudicating authority, who is the assistant director or deputy director who can adjudicate up to 1 crore. If you are not happy with this order, you can appeal to the Special Director Appeals within 45 days. If the offense is greater than or equal to 1 crore, then the ED, director in the ED, Enforcement Directorate, they will take it up. The ED will take it up. The director himself will take it up. One of the directors. And if you are not happy with this order, you cannot go to Special Director Appeal. Within 45 days, you go to the Appellate Tribunal. And if you're not happy with the order of the Appellate Tribunal, within 60 days, you go to the Jurisdictional High Court. And from there, Supreme Court, etc. Okay. So this is the appellate hierarchy within the FEMA framework. Mr. Unsatisfactory, brother of Mr. Banda, you remember? Who is residing at Chennai, is agreed by an order made by the Appellate Tribunal. Can he do so? Yes, he can file an appeal to the High Court within 60 days. Right? Under FEMA, unless it is a money laundering offense, under Section 13, instead of having an order of penalty by the adjudicating authority, you can go for compounding. Any contravention under Section 13 may be compounded. Compounding means instead of getting convicted, you can pay the compounding fees and be relieved. So, any of the officers of the ED and classes of officers of the RBI can act as compounding authority depending on the amount. You can apply for compounding within 180 days from the date of receipt of the application. You make an application to the concerned compounding authority. Once a contravention is compounded, no proceeding can be initiated or continued. And the person committing such contravention in respect of the contravention so compounded is relieved. Thereafter, he'll be noted as acquitted. Very important, because in certain managerial positions, MD and all, if you are convicted for any offense, then you cannot go under Schedule 5. Even 1 rupee penalty, you cannot go. Therefore, it is good for you to compound and get your amount, get it acquitted, right? So these are the provisions of the Foreign Exchange Management Act. As far as applicable to the intermediate syllabus, to the best of my abilities, I have covered it for you. Okay. Not a very complicated topic, about hardly 40-45 pages. Much of it I have covered for you. So now a quick revision. You have to be very thorough in this year. You have to be very, very thorough with CAT, current account sections. Very thorough. Because 60% probability will come from here. Okay. Any other questions? If you have, you can ask. I'll give you another 5 to 10 minutes. Otherwise, we can call it a day. I'll see if any queries are there in the query pack.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, madam. How are you?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. Good evening, students.
Yeah. I hand over the proceedings to Shweta ji.
Sir.
Yeah.
EPCL team, kindly allow me to for my video also.
I will stop sharing, madam.
To continue, if you are teaching them anything, please continue.
No, madam, I've completed the topic. We can stop. I can stop research.
Okay. Good evening, students.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. So today is your last class of the session. How are you all feeling about it? Good evening, Soumya. So, since today is the last class, good evening, Miss P. So, since today is the last class, do you think that this class has all the classes that we had, around 38, 39 classes. Good evening, Shagufta. Good evening. They have been successful in teaching you something about the corporate and other laws paper. How was your experience of this paper? Okay, thank you. Very good. So, as far as I can read comments, so students, you like the class. You have learned that what you got a flair of the subject. You got flair of the subject, that what corporate and other laws is all about. You may also have been able to understand, if I would say not 100%, but at least 50% of the subject. And you would have, and students who would have sincerely read with the teacher, the expert faculties that have been teaching you. And apart from that, you would have done the assignments at your home, whatever the teachers have told you, and whatever your the questions that are given as test your knowledge in your study material. If you would have done it, then you would have understand that this paper is not at all difficult. It's just that we need to change our mindset about this paper. And if you are knowing this, you would also be knowing that though this is your last class as an LBC, but simultaneously we have also started with our revisionary batches, which is your live virtual revisionary classes. So if by any chance you still feel that there you need more practice, so what we are doing is that in the LVRC classes, we are focusing solely on practicing of questions. Like many a times, the feedback that I've got from you and the way I tried with you kids, that you should try to solve the questions on your own. And some of the students were there, those who were responding to the questions, but sometimes the students were not able to reply. So I request you all to kindly join the LVRC. So for corporate and other laws, the days are Tuesday and Friday. So though they are running for every subject, but for this subject, and you understand, by 5th of August, we will be completing all the classes. All the classes of LVC today we are completing, and LVRC also we will be completing by 5th of August. So if you understand, we are in a very good position wherein we will be by 5th of August, and your exam is in the first week of September. So you then also will have full 1 month to do everything on your own, and which will be in that time period we will be having just two sessions of success at CA examinations, which will be in which we will be discussing the MTQs. So all of you, kindly do try to attend the LVRC classes also. They will help you in writing practice, because the teacher there will be you have just now completed your lectures, and then they are focusing solely on completion of this question answers. If you have any question from me, please let me know. Any doubt about the chapter that you have done today, let me know. Okay, one question I would like to ask. Like, you read FEMA today. So they have given the concept of this person resident outside India, person resident in India. Similarly, the concept is also given under the Income Tax Act, because by now we have also completed the LVC classes for Income Tax Act. Any student would like, obviously you know the difference of 180, 182 days. Can you tell me the basic thing that why we want to prove that a person is resident in India, be it the Income Tax Act or be it this. हम किसी को क्यों चाहते हैं कि वो person resident in India? चलो पहले इजी क्वेश्चन का जवाब दो. कितने डेज, how many days are prescribed under the FEMA for a person to be deemed as a resident in India and under the income tax? This is an easy question. I think all of you can answer this. Okay. EPCL, I am not able to see any of the answers now. Okay. Okay. I'm able to see it now. Shagufta, 182 days or more and what? And want both the limits. Okay, Janendra, we have tried to remove it from the portal. On 16th, there is no class. Students, kindly note on 16th, there is no class. EPCL team, we have been again telling you to kindly remove the class that is showing for 16th for FEMA. Kindly take note of it. So, if we see, the main point is that residency status determines the extent of rights and obligation and the tax liabilities. That's why it's very important. If we are talking about why this person is resident, it is to identify that what all transactions are permissible. Like you read about current account rules and capital account rules. And if you were read them in the case of non-residents, there are many restrictions on certain investments and remittances and assets acquisition. Like a person who is altogether out of India, is not a citizen of India and anything, then that person is allowed to hold or not hold a property, a capital property in India. Response. And while we are dealing in the Income Tax Act, the major thing we want to is from the taxability point of view, that if a person is resident and ordinarily resident in India, his or her global income is taxed in it. That means even the income that is earned abroad. But in the case of non-resident or resident but not ordinarily resident, the income that is taxed in India is the income that is received or accrued in India, or that is deemed to accrue or receive in India. So in both the places we are trying to determine, the word seems almost similar, person resident in India, but the intent of both the acts is different. Okay, good, Samya. Okay, Shagupta, that's also good. So this is the basic difference, that 180 and 182 days, but the intent of deciding that why we want to do is different in both the acts. So that's all from my side, and I hope so everything is clear. And I'm again saying that this is the last class for today of LBC. From tomorrow onwards, kindly join the LBRs. And hope to see my students again in the class if all of you are appearing for the September 2025 exam? Okay. So one thing more. This batch is for September 2025 examinations plus the students who are giving the January 2026 examinations. They may also be attending this LVC class. But the LVRC, which is your revisionary class, is only for September 2025 students. So other students can also attend it. There is no bar, but it is more specific for the students who are appearing in the September 2025 exam. Okay, take a note of. So with this is the last class, but we will be meeting again and again and again. And hope so you had the best time with us and you are understanding everything clear. Very good. Thank you, Shagufta. And have lots of fun. Stay clear and try to be clear about your objective that you want to be a CA. Once you are clear about your objective, nothing in this world can stop you from becoming this. So with this, I say thank you to all my students and thank you to all my expert faculties, Shrikant sir, Harleen ma'am and Vijay sir. And thank you ICAI for providing us this platform to interact with us. Take care and have fun and all the best. See you again.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you,
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, EPCL team. Please, the session is complete. Yes, and please, one thing I told you, kindly remove the class of 16. Okay, I will be calling you.